And the button got pushed.
They got pushed. somebody did a sorry job of setting the show up this week.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and Louisville, Kentucky's own Juicy Joe Staples.
Oh, God. And she's probably watching, too.
Well, all right, from Louisville, Kentucky. Not Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville. Actually, Pleasure Ridge Park is where we're from.
Pleasure Ridge Park.
How
Juicy
convenient.
Joe's from Pleasure Ridge Park.
How convenient is that?
All right.
Hey, who won the picks? I think somebody got DNF this week.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So he don't make it to the chase then.
I didn't pick this week. I was not here last week.
I really don't even remember who I picked. I think you picked Harvick, didn't you?
No, I want to say I took Kyle Busch. I thought I took Kyle Busch because that's who I took to win the championship.
Did you? Oh, where's our sheet? Who?
I hadn't even looked at that sheet.
I wonder.
Oh,
I know I got two.
You
No, I didn't.
closed it when you found out you didn't win.
No, I'm still good. Let's see here.
Oh, is that his filling as the time goes? You seen that, didn't you? Huh?
That's when you saw. I knew the 22's out.
Let's see.
So I got
22. The 22's out. You got the 4 and the 18 left. Joe has got the 4 and the 18 left.
And you got Bush going all the way.
And I've got the 4 and the 18 left.
And you got Harvick going. But you know what I see? In the last 2 rounds, hardly anybody's got Gordon.
Nope. I didn't have Gordon. I never in my wildest imagination thought Gordon would get there at the beginning of the chase.
Yeah.
No, I didn't either.
But with the win he got at Martinsville, now the stars have aligned a little bit better for him if you take a look at it, because I don't think he would have been competition for Logano. I'm not sure about Keselowski. Some of those other guys, if they had stayed in it, I'm not sure where he would stood. But now the stars, he's only got the 4 to worry about right now. Right. He's got to beat the 4. I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of problems beating Kyle Busch, even though that's your pick.
Right.
I don't think he's going to have a lot because I think this is the first time Kyle's been in this situation. Mm-hmm. And I wish we'd have had Blake on. We had Blake Jones scheduled to come on tonight. He's the car chief on the 78, but he's in the air flying back to Denver from the NASCAR Research and Development Center, and he won't be landing until 9:30, so he couldn't call in tonight, but he'll be with us next week. And I just didn't think the 78 would get there. And it's like you and I were talking earlier, he may not have been there had that race run out like it did the other night.
I think it'd have been tough. It could have gone either way. But you know what? All 4 guys have a great story. I mean, I don't think NASCAR could actually plan a better scenario. You got the 78 team, kind of goes back to Alan Kwiecki, a 1-car team. Mm-hmm. Even though they have some affiliation, it's not truly a 1-car team. They do share information. They do get information. So, but it's still a 1-car operation. I don't think they have but like 30 employees.
It's not very many.
I mean, I know it's pretty bare bones compared to Hendrick that has 400 or 500 employees, and
like
Gibbs
30
is
janitors, you know.
Yeah, exactly. and I mean, Gibbs has probably got 400 or 500, and I think Childress has probably got 300 or 400 employees. So I mean, in the grand scheme, they have a tenth of the people. For those guys, if they were to win, it's a big story.
Well, it's a big story with Martin Truex, no matter how you look at it, because here's a guy who got shafted at Michael Waltrip. Mm-hmm. If you look at it, I mean, that's exactly
from not his own doing.
Yeah, he had nothing to do with that. He loses his sponsor. He lost his ride, and he ended up going to a 1-car team.
That I would have said it was the back step for him.
And who would have ever thought that and now he's going to be there for a little while because look what they've done. Mm-hmm. So, and it's a big deal. Of course, his girlfriend Sherry's had the cancer situation.
Ovarian cancer.
And so, I mean, it's a perfect story there. Harvick, the defending champion, trying to defend his championship.
His title, and I don't think it's been as easy as it was the year before, we'll say a little bit, but, coming from Childress and then going to here and being as well as those guys have been, it's a great story. And then you have Kyle Busch, who didn't run the first 4 or 5 months, and then comes up and now he's got a legitimate shot at a championship.
And you know what's really funny about Kyle Busch was they were talking about Kyle Busch always seems to melt down after race number 26. Always, every year after when the season's over, when he goes into it's always them last 10 races that he has a problem with. Well,
he missed 11
races. He's not gonna have that problem this year. So,
yeah.
But I mean, that's a good deal for him to be where he's at. And of course, Jeff Gordon with his retirement and everything that's going on there. A lot of stuff that I've been hearing that's been going on down in Charlotte with him and the Hendrick organization and things they're doing for him. It's really cool, and I hope not because my son is part of that team, but I really would like to see them. I'd like to see him go out a winner. That would be huge. That would be huge, and it'd be huge for a whole lot of reasons. But I was sitting back last night. Me and my wife were sitting there talking, and it's kind of funny how this season has played out. We never thought Jeff was going to get where he did after the way they started. Now my son has a chance to, at 26 years of age, win a Sprint Cup title. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
And I mean, there's people that's been in this sport for years and have never even come close to that.
He's never won a race.
So I mean, he's won races. He's got a chance to win it. And the guy Blake Harris that was supposed to be with us tonight from the '78, he went to school with Lee at Hickory.
Oh, did he really?
So it's really kind of cool when the two of them are in the garage side by side. How they
and now they're competing against one another for a championship.
And here it is, both of them came from the same place at Hickory Motorsports, or the Bobby Isaac Motorsports, and here they come, and now they both are playing for the championship. It's cool, man. I mean, that's a big deal, even for me. I mean, I'm probably more on edge than anybody because I think it's really cool.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
And so I'm, my plan for Sunday is, told my wife. My birthday, fix my hamburgers.
60 years old. Happy birthday.
Ain't no 60, ain't no 61. Joe, if you ever want to go back to Louisville again. But
get you a one-way ticket, Joe.
With his AARP discount.
That's not funny. I've had that for a while.
I have too.
Hey, they sent me one. I was like, what?
Yeah. You can sign up.
He acts like he's younger, a whole lot younger than the rest of them.
I couldn't believe it. I'm only 40, and they sent me one.
But I mean, it's really cool that here we are at that point. It's really nice. I mean, I'm excited. And then I've got a relative going in the Hall of Fame this year. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I've got a lot of stuff going on. It's cool. So,
and hopefully we'll be at the Hall of Fame for the.
I would hope so, man. I'm on the edge now. I want to find.
Yeah, I don't care what it takes. I will be there.
We got to get there. We got to get there for that. That's going to be a big deal.
So some news today that we got M&M's renewed with Joe Gibbs, and they didn't say how many years. They just said for
multi-years.
So it's good for them. I mean, I think they're a good fit, and I think Kyle is actually very good with sponsors. He's been very known to be, they're not just a paycheck, but he gets that personal connection.
And they really do a lot of stuff with him. I mean, support a lot of the Kyle Busch stuff that the charities that he's involved in, and along with Samantha when we were down at Charlotte.
Yeah. RCR's got a new pit crew coach. For whatever reason, they said that the old coach is gone. It's kind of he stepped away. Eric Wilson, and then their guy. He was the Ray Wright. He was I think he was a right rear tire carrier for on the 27 car.
Yeah, they have a hard time there at RCR with pit crew coaches.
Yeah, Matt Clark was there. He left a few years ago, they said. We already know that story. And then I noticed that, which is going to be good for all guys, going to have a crew chief next year, which is Junior's car chief this year.
Jeff Mendering.
Yeah. And then who's leaving Junior's? Ernie Cote is going. Where was he going?
He's going over to JTG Daugherty as a competition director.
Yeah,
and that's a big deal. I mean, it's kind of surprising too that he's leaving Dale Jr. But
right. And I tell you, the other thing is Regan Smith. Where's he going to end up?
Well, that was one of the things I was going to bring up next. Was the Richard Petty Motorsports announced this weekend that Sam Hornish was not coming back.
He would be a good fit.
And first thing I heard that Dale Jr. did was he sent a message to Richard Petty and said, "Look, y'all need to take a look at Regan Smith." Because, and it's a money thing that Regan Smith is not with Junior Motorsports anymore because Elliott Sadler brings his own sponsor. Allgaier brought his own sponsor. So they're the two guys. And then the money's, if you got the money, you got the ride. So
I mean, that's been a trend for the last
and of course
10 plus years, right?
And then the 88 car is going to be in like an all-star car. They're going to have up to 9 people in that car this year.
I mean, they've had, Casey, Harvick, I think the one car, McMurray's been in it, Junior's been in it.
Josh Berry's been in it.
Josh Berry, what's the kid come from the K&N? They won a championship last year. I just seen his name. I can't think of it. No. Ben Rhodes. Which is a great shoe, and then he's looking for a place because he thought he had a home there at Junior Motorsports, and it looks like he doesn't have. They don't have a place for him next year.
No,
and that kid's got some talent.
There's some stuff going on there that
and he's got some sponsorship.
It's a money deal that got the other two guys a ride, and I think that's, whether you like it or not, that's just the way the sport is now. You got to deal with it.
Yeah, I think.
But you also got David Reagan out there.
Would be a good fit too in the 9 car.
And from what I understand, David Reagan has some support from the Roush people because he drove for Roush at one time, and he was over driving Front Row Motorsports Fords,
which is all Roush.
Which was a Roush deal. And, of course, he couldn't pass up the opportunity to go drive the 55. But now I think I'm hearing that it's a good possibility that he's going to be
at Roush?
He's going to go back, but probably it's a possibility he could be in the Petty car next year.
Oh, yeah, because they're affiliated.
And I heard also through the grapevine that Penske will definitely have probably 3 cars next year. They will definitely have Ryan Blaney in a car, so that means there's the Wood Brothers car. Who's going to drive that?
Yeah, but some of that felt like they were trying to really have their third car was going to be Wood Brothers. I mean, essentially it is. I mean,
it could be, but that the way it was explained to me was that they want to have before 2 years is up. They want 4 cars. They want to expand to 4 teams, and that would mean that they want Ryan Blaney in-house. So,
yeah, I mean, I thought I'd seen some stuff talking about they were trying to find some full sponsorship for the Wood Brothers. I mean, the Wood Brothers is, for all purposes, as a name. It's a Penske car. It's Penske guys working on it. The Wood Brothers are certainly there, and they're certainly involved, and I think that's mostly because of Ford.
Yeah, I agree.
Ford gives them a little bit of money for sponsorship. But Blaney deserves a full-time ride.
The way he drives and the things he's done, he's kind of like Eric Jones has been over there with with a 20.
I mean, that kid has done a hellacious job in the 20 car.
Three races the last 3 weekends. I mean, three straight days for 2 weekends, and
he's run well.
And he's run well, and he won a race. He won a truck race, and he come close to winning the nationwide race because he was really reeling them in there at the end, but he kind of fell off. But
I mean, and he ran in the top 10 in both Cup races. I mean, the whole run. I mean, it wasn't like he kind of lucked up and finished 8th. I think he finished in the first race. I don't know where he ended up last week.
Yeah, I forgot to.
But I believe he was in the top 10. I mean, he ran up front. But they say he gives really good feedback.
It's a big deal when before that race started, Kyle Busch went to Eric Jones and asked him how the track runs at night. Because they don't run that race in the fall of the year at night. So the truck race is at night. So he went to Eric Jones to ask him how.
Well, I didn't realize how Eric Jones got there. It was all because Kyle Busch.
Yeah, beat Kyle Busch at the Snowball.
Right, but Kyle Busch went to Toyota and says, we got to sign this kid. We cannot let him get away.
And he wanted him in his ride.
Right.
Yeah.
So Eric goes him a lot. And this kid's only, 19 years old?
19 years old.
He's got an awesome career ahead of him, that's for sure.
All right, let's go ahead and call Langley Austin and get him on here. Hopefully he'll answer the phone.
I was going to say, is it hooked up?
Hello.
Mr. Austin, how you doing, sir?
Great, how about you?
All right, this is Jack Dodson at Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News. I got Scott Allen and Joe Staples with us tonight, and calling to talk to you and see how things are going up there at Franklin County.
Oh man, they're going great. We're really excited about getting back up there and getting back to racing.
Yeah, my dad's side of the family is originally from Franklin County, down in the Ferrum area, and I've never been to the Franklin County Speedway, but I've heard so much about it over the years. I hope to get there this year.
Yeah, we'd absolutely love to have you. I mean, Franklin County Speedway is one of those racetracks where you have to go there to believe the stories that you've heard. I mean, it's one of the most interesting racetracks anywhere.
Well, can you give us a little bit of the history? I mean, you've been around there for a while, so give us a little bit, a brief overview of the history of Franklin County Speedway.
Well, it was built in 1968. There was actually another track over the hill. There was a dirt track that actually run around a pond. But they built this track. Don't think they ever run any dirt races there, but they may have. And 1969 was their first full season. The place has just got incredible history. From Darrell Waltrip and Bobby Allison coming there during their rivalry days, and neither one of them knew that they were coming, and the other one was coming, and it was just a whole lot of excitement. Rick Mass, winning 3 races, and supposedly he had winning $25,000. He didn't actually get that, but he was supposed to. And that helped launch his foray into NASCAR. There's just been so many things over the years at Franklin County Speedway, so many names, so many people that have come through there that have, launched their careers. And, the Bobby Labonte, Kyle Petty won his second ever race in a stock car period there. Just so many people. Matt DiBenedetto's won a UARA race there. Dale Wallace Jr.'s won a race there. Brandon McReynolds has won a race there. So there's just so many people that have come through there. It's been, a great launching pad for, different people's careers over the years. And, hopefully we're going to, it fell on some hard years in the last, 10 years or so. And, in 2013, 2014, when we were there, we, had a lot of success and started to bring the place back. And, we had a little bit of a falling out with, the track owner, but, we got all that worked out and squared away, and we're ready to go for 2016, and hopefully we can, pick up right where we left off and, just get things rocking there again.
Now, what size racetrack is this, and is it banked? 'Cause I've never been there either.
Yeah, it's very high banking.
Okay.
The official banking that I've seen recorded on the internet is like 23 degrees. I think it's more like 26 degrees. But it's 3/8 of a mile, high bank, super fast. They say it's 3/8 of a mile. It's actually probably about 3/10 of a mile. It's a super fast racetrack. A lot of fun. You can really race there. It's not a one group track. They can race side by side, and the action there is intense. Anytime you get a track that small, you're going to have some good racing. I mean, I know my favorite racetracks in the world are Southside, Newport, Kingsport, Franklin County, Orange County, and that's probably my 4 or 5 racetracks there that I really find to be the most exciting as a fan to watch. And Franklin County definitely falls into that category.
Now, what classes do y'all have there?
This year we'll have late model street stock, but we're not sure what we're doing with street stocks. We're in this part of racing right now where street stocks they don't really exist that much anymore. Those cars you can't just readily go and buy those cars, and people aren't racing them as much. We'd like for them to, so we're not 100% sure what we're doing with that division as far as rules, allowing it to chest, stock clips, and different stuff like that. But we have many stocks. Mod 4 is basically the same division, the motor mile run, U cars. We have like a super U car, which we call a tuner, really fast. Eventually we'll combine our mini stocks and our fenders and make basically the same rules as that Southeast Mini Stock Tour is going to have, to where we can have, those cars running together, every week, rear wheel drive and front wheel drive. And then we've got the mini cups, the little mini Winston cars. There's a ton of them in this area. We were averaging about 20 of them in 2013. And then we got a kids class that we started, with the mini cups that we're going to run, and I'm going to add a couple of new divisions this year. After going to Southern National, working down there last year, I learned a lot about the Bandoleros and the Legend cars, and while there's not a lot in this area, we'd like to, make there be a lot in this area, and we're hoping to build those new divisions up. We won't run them every week, but we'll run them sporadically throughout the season to where we can build on them for the future. And we're also like the same division as the idea I actually had, several years ago. The Bangers division that Dillon Motor Speedway had, Ron Barfield, super smart guy, and he's going to add that division. We're going to basically, just copy the rules that he does as close as possible, and I think I'm going to buy as many of those cars, six-cylinder, just basically bone stock six-cylinder cars, with just enough gauge to keep you safe, and, let them turn loose and let them go racing. And we may actually do another four-cylinder division that's the same as that, with the same premise, actually trying to go back to what U-Car used to be. U-Car evolved, from a $500 race car to a $5,000 race car, which makes absolutely no sense, but Racetrack has allowed that, and, Dayman has allowed it to get to that point. So, maybe it's time to, go retro and, look to build a division that's cheaper. I mean, obviously, we all know that, the cheaper you make a division, the more likely you are to build it into something, with a substantial thought down, and that's what we're hoping to do.
I was reading something the other day. I've kind of followed you on Race 22 and things like that over the years, but I was really interested in the name of your company there. The what is it? Moonshine Capital Promotions. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Well, Franklin County is the wettest county in the world. It's the Moonshine Capital, and I thought it just fit. Back in the 80s or so, back on the way there, he really played up the moonshine thing, and that was before moonshine was popular. Back then, everybody wanted to keep it quiet, and like the Franklin County, they frowned upon it. The county itself did. Now they don't frown upon it. They are boasting about being the moonshine capital of the world. And I think the movie Lawless changed a lot of that. Just the whole premise of how moonshine has evolved to become a very popular thing and become legal and all that, which the legal ain't worth crap, but we can get you some good stuff coming spring. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of cool because I'll give you an interesting story. My grandfather was running moonshine in Franklin County. Him and his brother-in-law and a few others. The brother-in-law got caught. He didn't get caught. He went off to West Virginia and become a police chief for 30 years.
That's good.
That's kind of weird, Now, back in the day, wasn't Satch Worley involved with the Franklin County Speedway?
He raced there. I don't know that he was ever actually involved in any way, but they had lockout and that they built down the road. I'm not 100% sure that he was ever involved. Bill Mabey, built the track. Sweet McGuire, Tony and Tim McGuire's dad, had acquired it, just before, Waddy had bought this facility. So I'm not 100% sure, on that. There's, very possible they could have, but if that's true, I don't know anything about it.
So how did you get involved into racing there?
I've been around the racetrack my whole life. I grew up on the road, on the road there to the racetrack. My grandfather, my grandfather owned the property that the racetrack is on now. My whole family owns all the property that adjoins it down the hill. To the left as you're coming in, all the property to that side, my family still owns. I just grew up there, and back in the heyday, I was born in 1982, so I didn't get to see all the great stuff that happened in the 80s, but by the time, 87, 88 rolled around, I was sneaking out of my house, even though my mother didn't want to, and taking off and going to the racetrack. There's 5,000 to 10,000 people there at the time, and there was no way in the world you could find me if there's usually wasted time. I just got the buzz, once you get around racing, you guys know, you can't get rid of it. You can't get it. It's worse than any drug you could ever touch.
It's like crack. It's just expensive as crack.
Well, that's a. When are you going to start your season down there? Have you got all that worked out? And
we're working on all of that. The season will start Saturday and Sunday, March 19th and 20th. We're going to do a 2-day show to kick off the season. And then we're going to actually, we haven't really announced it yet formally, but we're going to be a Sunday evening venue. We're not going to run on Saturday or Friday. We're going to change things up and do things a little bit different. When we were there in 2014, we tried out the Sunday deal for a few races, and it really worked to our favor. And, once we went to Saturdays, it wasn't near as good. And I think having Motor Mile right up the road, in one direction, and then you got Natural Bridge Speedway, which is a dirt track, in another direction, and then Bowman Gray Stadium is not that far outside of Franklin County, and actually a lot of people that live in Franklin County travel to Bowman Gray Stadium to watch the race down there. For us, racing Fridays or Saturdays, make no sense. We could probably make Fridays work, but I don't know, something just tells me to stay away from Fridays and, go with Sundays, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to race on Sunday, evening, probably 3 o'clock start in the spring and the fall, and maybe a little bit later in the middle of the summer to, try to get the heat down a little bit before we get started. And, I think it'll be a, really, really interesting thing, with racing traditionally having been there on Saturdays, throughout the years. There's been some times that they've raced Sunday, and there's been some times that they've raced Friday, early on. But, I think the Sunday deal is really going to work out for us because it gives us an opportunity to have absolutely no competition as far as racetrack goes for car count. And it gives us, people have so many things to do on weekends now. Just today isn't like 1985. It's totally different. People have, festivals and things to do with their kids and all kinds of things. And, Sunday is that day where they just want to relax and, they can come relax with us and really enjoy a race. And, I think that's going to work out in our favor.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be an interesting time, and we wish you the very best of luck. And hopefully we're going to get down. I would like to come down there and see it because I've always heard everything about it. My family's been down there. They've told me about it, and I've just never got there. So I hope I get a chance to get down there this year.
Well, we would absolutely love to have you. You just let me know, and we'll get you hooked up, and we'll give you some free food or something, and feed you and make you feel good.
Sold, right? Hey, sold, right? All you had to do is say free food. We're there.
Yeah, we'll get you some free food, free beer. We'll fix you up, man.
Oh, okay. Now you done start talking big time. Well,
that's the thing that I learned. With Race 22, we did a Race 22 radio show for a while. Wish we could still do it. I actually moved. I lived in Salisbury, North Carolina at the time, and what we did, we fed everybody. We had people come to our radio show, and we fed everybody, and we gave them free beer. Coolers full of beer. We had people driving from 3 or 4 hours away just to come drink free beer. So I know that premise works, and we want to cater to media, the sponsors, everybody. I want you guys to if you come to Franklin County Speedway, I want you to leave. But man, this is the most awesome
Well, we're looking forward to it, I'm gonna make a time and get down there, and I'll let you know when we're coming.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right, man. We appreciate your time tonight, and we'll keep in touch with you over the year and see how things are going, and talk to you again.
Absolutely. Anytime. Thank you, guys.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be cool on Sundays.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it probably will work. There's no competition. There's nobody.
Yeah.
All the cars will be free unless they get tore up.
But
we would like to have him back on to talk about the Race 22 side of it. He owns Race 22,
Right.
so that's kind of neat. I didn't realize he did a show.
I didn't either. I've seen Race 22, and I've never knew.
Race 22 is is pretty big, especially in this area.
Mm-hmm.
For all the local short track stuff. I mean, no, I think that's mainly what he does for a living. Who do we got next?
Supposed to have CJ Faison next.
Is that who tried to call you?
I think so. Hoping that's who it was. Yep, that's who it was.
And then who do we got next? Oh, Shane Laws.
Shane's
later.
coming next. We got to call him. We'll call CJ and see what he's up to.
What did I say? He's an attention whore.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. I am too. I can be too.
Hello?
Is this Mr. CJ Faison?
Well, some days it is, and then some days I'd rather not claim myself.
All right, well, this is Jack and Scott and Joe Staples here tonight, and we wanted to see. I'm seeing all this new stuff you're getting ready to do. I want to hear what you got going on.
Well, there's a lot going on. I guess when local racing around your area, especially here in Delaware, is suffering, sometimes you just got to build your own racetrack. So we're in the process. We just broke ground today for Silo Speedway. It's going to be a quarter-mile high-bank dirt track located in Belton, Delaware, and we're pretty pumped about that. So, I mean, local racing around our area has really been needing a new place. I mean, we've got a couple of local tracks, but they're just really going bad. I'm called Faith. They're just not doing the marketing and taking care of the fans the way they're supposed to, and that's our whole goal. Our goal is not to make money at this thing as long as we can break even every week. The money that we do make in it, we're just putting right back in the track to make it a better place. So, but we've got that going on, and I've got 2 full-time rides next year in the Houston Speedster, so life is good.
Yeah, it seems like you're expanding out in many directions. I was in Delaware weekend before last, and I went by the Georgetown Speedway. Didn't you used to race over there?
Yes, sir. I raced there many times, actually.
Yeah, that was it was a neat looking track, and I mean, I really didn't get inside to look at it, but I just kind of looked at it from a distance. But it looked kind of neat, and looks like you got something going on good with all this new stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, we've this USAC Speedster. I don't know if you guys have followed me in the past year a lot or not, but I've raced the USAC Speedster, which was Rick Eckert's car, for 2 races. I raced at Linda Speedway, and then I went up to Kirkwood, New York, and raced 5 Mile Point. And man, these cars are the most fun I've ever had driving. Just because the field is so competitive. You're racing against guys like Billy Pound, Kenny Blakeville, all the heavy hitters. I mean, they're racing. So you're racing against all these race legends. And it's pretty cool. So I got 2 full-time rides next year in that. I couldn't be more excited right now. We got a lot of great sponsors behind us. That's what, puts this whole deal through. So a very exciting time, so to speak. It all kind of fell into my lap all at once.
Do you slow down any at all?
No, I don't. I mean, just kind of rattling off some stuff. I own an auto auction. I'm part of a mixed martial arts company, a sunglass company, wholesale automotive company, now Racetrack, and 3 race teams. So I don't think I can add anything more to my plate after this Racetrack deal.
Well, I think you can add one more thing. I've seen
a
some.
Little Caesar's chain.
I done seen these videos you're putting out out in front of these stores, dancing around and doing all this stuff you're doing.
Jack wants to try it next.
No, I don't. But I think that's cool. I think you got one more thing you can do.
Yeah, I think a reality TV show is
there you
might
go.
be in the works next. You never know, because I'm telling you, it's like I said, it's a fun time to be alive right now for me. I mean, despite everything going on crazy in the world today, I got a lot of stuff to look forward to, and I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. I have Wi-Fi internet at my house, but no cable, and I basically work from about 4:30 in the morning until 2:30 at night most of the time. You know what I mean? So I don't sleep much, but at least I get all my stuff done.
There you go. So what brung on the racetrack?
What's that now?
What brung on building the dirt track?
Well, me as a racer, there's really not a lot of places to race around here in Delaware. There's two main tracks. There's Delaware International Speedway, and then there's Georgetown Speedway. Both of which are severely hurting from car count. And just due to the economy, even I myself, I've blown up two super dirt late model motors this year at $30,000 a piece, and that's not fun at all. And the USEC Speedster division is one of the most affordable race cars that I think I've ever driven in my entire life. So that's what we're going to run. We're going to run the USEC Speedsters there, the slingshots that Rich Tobias built, modified lights, and a couple other classes. But we're just going to put affordability back into racing. We had a big meeting this past Friday night for anyone who was interested in seeing what Silo Speedway was all about. And, we were thinking maybe 50 to 60 people would show up, but we had over 230 people walk through the door that were interested racers. So that was a really positive swing for us, and I think it's going to turn out great. I think we'll have a lot bigger car count than we originally thought.
So when are you projecting you're going to get this opened up and getting it ready to run?
Well, we are projecting probably an April opening. We just broke ground today, and this has kind of been in the works for about a year now. Never really said anything about it until we got the permits and made it all official. So I know it kind of sounds crazy. We'll have a full-blown, high quality, very nice facility racetrack to be on in April, but we've got construction crews and just everything we need to line up. All the stars are aligning right. So we just, like I said, this construction crew we got, they're absolutely phenomenal. I mean, today they broke ground, and you can already see like the layout of the track. So it's pretty impressive if you ask me.
Well, that sounds cool. Now, when you get this place opened up, Scott and I want to come up there and take a look at it.
And we got to do some crazy videos.
Check it out.
Yeah, and then we got to do some crazy video thing with Jack. We got to embarrass him somehow.
Let's do it.
Hey, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute now. Let's don't go that far. Hey, so with all this going on, are you still looking at possibility of trying to drive a nationwide car or anything if it opens up?
I've kind of had a weird point in my life right now where I can't particularly say a yes or no. In NASCAR, it's all about the dollars that you bring to the table. If the appropriate sponsor came up and said, hey, let's go Xfinity racing or truck racing, whatever it might be, cup racing, I don't care. I would probably entertain the idea because it's been my lifelong dream. But, the fact that I've started a race team just this past year, and we acquired all this equipment, and I've got some commitments from some drivers that want to drive for me next year, verbal commitments at least. I really want to focus on building the youth around racing because I've got some younger drivers that have been reaching out to me, and I'd like to help them achieve their goals, whether it be NASCAR or dirt racing or whatever it might be, even just winning a race. So I really want to try to focus on that and give back because I had a lot of people help me up through the rankings, and
that's cool.
I made somewhat of a good name for myself in the NASCAR world. So yeah, I would definitely entertain it, but as of right now, I don't think I can put it as my top priority. But like I said, it's just all about the money you bring to the table. So that's kind of where the hammer drops, I guess.
Well, I was wondering, we got a fan question here. I wonder if, with the new track coming up, Jack was famous for starting parking. I wonder if we could rekindle something when we come up there, Jack.
You're not gonna feed into this, are you, CJ?
Yeah, he will.
I will. Yeah.
Hey, look, man. I come up that way some, and I was thinking about next time I come up, I was going to look you up, but I'm not sure I am now.
I'm telling you, if you hung around me for a weekend, you would either absolutely love me or absolutely just think I'm a duck and send me to the crazy house.
Well, after looking at some of your videos, I can see why the people would think that.
Hey, CJ, we were talking before the show. I said, you know what? CJ's kind of like me. I think he's an attention whore.
I don't know if I'm attention whore, but I like doing stuff that other people are like, no, that's way too crazy for me to do.
Right.
I mean, like I tell you what, I was eating at this seafood restaurant one day, and there's a video on my Facebook of this, but this lady, she recognized me in there, and she's watched me race, and pretty decent, like pretty fan of mine. So she was there with her friend, and it was her friend's birthday, and she's like, "You need to come over here and dance for my friend." So I turned on the jukebox, and I went over there, and I kind of not dirty danced her, but the only way I know how to dance. And I mean, it just kind of went viral, and people were like, "Man, you really are." So, I don't know.
Hey, man, I think that makes you marketable too. You know.
It has to. I mean, we've got people. Well, the people from Little Caesars, they absolutely love it because I come to a local store here in Seaford, and sometimes I just call the store manager John or store owner John. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna work the drive-thru for 30 minutes. And he's like, that's fine, CJ. Whatever you want to do, brother. And I just have fun with the customers. You know what I mean? And it's cool kind of seeing people's reaction because most people around Delaware know who I am. So taking selfies to the drive-thru probably isn't what the corporate wants me to do, but
right.
sometimes happens, So.
Yeah, but hey, man, it's all in good fun, I mean, if you're not having fun, it's not worth living,
Yeah, exactly. That's my motto every day.
Yeah.
I kind of say this, like, if your ribs don't hurt by the time you get home, you really didn't have that much fun day. So.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Well, when you get that racetrack opened up there, Scott and I are going to come up. We're going to come up and hang out with you for a day.
Yeah, most definitely.
And see what you're all about.
But I'll message you.
Yeah.
We got to do something funny though.
I'll tell you what. This is what we'll do. Once we get this track built, or even if you guys want to come up in the wintertime or take a trip and go snowboarding or whatever, you guys come up. I'll have like our film crew that usually kind of just follows around at the races. I'll have them follow us around for a day. We'll put a video together. So that way you guys got a keepsake memory of one of the wildest weekends you guys have ever had. How about that?
Hey, we're in that. We're into that.
Hey, whatever we can do to embarrass Jack, I'll do whatever.
All right, that's perfect. I can come up with a couple things.
Hey, CJ, hold up now. Come on now.
I love you guys.
It ain't got to be just me now.
Hey, if it's for a laugh, I'm down for it, even if I'm the butt of the joke.
Hey, you will have some fun, guys.
Hey, that's
well,
what it's all about.
We're looking forward to this now that we done found out about this racetrack. We're gonna have to come up there and be a part of that and see how you do things, and it'll be really cool because I think you just got it in you to succeed at things you do.
Yeah, the personality.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no other option, and I think it'd be kind of cool if you guys could maybe even broadcast the show live there.
You know what?
Race. We'll get guys like Billy Pouch and Kenny Brightville and all those big name guys, and you can interview them on the station here and have some fun with them.
Consider it done.
Tell you what, we'll do it. That's not you did when you get it all together and get it set up. We'll do that, man. We'll be more than glad to do it.
Perfect. Well, you guys can crash my house, and my house is only 20 minutes from the track, so you guys got a place to stay and everything.
All right, cool. And I ain't too sure I want to stay with you and Scott though.
just make sure you lock your door, and whatever you do, don't come out till the morning, or at least jump out through the window and maybe come in the opposite way, because I have something set up outside your door.
All right, CJ, we're probably pretty much done with you for now.
We will be there.
But we appreciate.
Sounds good, guys.
But we appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for calling in at last minute because we wanted to hear about this new racing thing you're into, and
we didn't realize it was a racetrack, and that's super exciting, man. Exciting for you.
So we're gonna be up to see you.
Sounds good, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, man. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see you guys. Bye.
Dude, he is a nut.
Ain't no way in hell I'm going up there with them two.
Why?
I mean,
I'll go the best time of his life.
I know it.
I'll go up there, but I'm gonna find my own place to stay. I ain't too sure about this dude to start with.
It's the sleeping that's not going to bother you. It's the wake that's going to get you.
Right, exactly.
You know? That's what you got to be worried about.
Yeah, I'm on.
Your eyes are open.
Hey, look,
the door locked for sure.
I'm worried about that as it is.
CJ, we're on, man. We're on for that.
I'm already worried about this day, man.
But it's pretty cool. They're building a racetrack up there.
I had heard that, but I didn't know he was involved in it. I knew the racetrack was being
I didn't know
built.
it was a new racetrack. I seen the car. Is that a USAC car?
Yeah.
That they were talking about. He's going to be running this racetrack, and I didn't really read a lot more into it. So that's super exciting, and go check that out. It'll be cool to see.
That's some great racing. You know, we used to go up in Indiana and watch them race.
Go ahead and kill some time there while I'm trying to find.
We got one guy said he wanted to call in and talk to his hero Jack.
His hero Jack.
Who is that?
Gary.
That must be one of the old Southampton.
No.
That's Gary, our blue nose.
No.
We said we had a pretty good little laugh with Danny Mallard come by here earlier.
Yeah.
He's a joke anyway, so that's what you told me all along.
I like how he talks crap after Danny leaves.
He didn't
Poor
say
Danny.
much when he was here, did he?
No, I
He was
don't.
a little quiet. He wasn't on the chip. It was at the end of the day.
I'm not. I don't know him that well. I
Right.
mean, I just know of him, so I can't say a whole lot about him. But then to hear some of the stories I heard.
It was so funny, man. He pushed me up through the field, and we got up to Jonathan Mullet and Ryan Hudgens, and they split, and I kept telling Dan, come on, push me through the middle. And I got through in front of him, and Danny, and it was funny, when he pushed me up between them, Jonathan hit me in the side and knocked me up into Ryan Hudgens, and Hudgens knocked me back down into Jonathan. And I was like a ping pong for a few laps. And Danny said he just laughed behind me.
All right, we're gonna have Shane Laws on, hopefully, if he answers his phone.
That was a long pause in between there.
Is this Shane Laws?
It is Shane Lowe. How you doing tonight?
All right, this is Jack and Scott and Joe Staples, and the Highway Patrol from down in South Carolina has called and said you're moving awful fast.
Yeah. Thing. I'm gonna say y'all. I'll tell you what. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you pretty good.
Okay. All right.
So what? Sorry, are you on the way down the road now?
Yes, I am. I'm just about in Wilmington and probably about an hour and a half away from Myrtle Beach.
Well, give us a little rundown on what all was going on at Myrtle Beach this weekend. I tried to get some guys to come on the show, but I guess everybody's kind of busy getting ready for it. But tell us a little bit what's going on. The Mr. Head Tech Man there at race director or whatever there at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I have the pleasure of working this race every year, and it's kind of grown. But now I'm kind of like the main Carol at Martinsville at this race, so kind of put everything together. In previous years, it's been about 4 or 5 divisions on this weekend, but this weekend it's just late model and the modified, the touring style modified. So like your NASCAR Southern modifieds and your Tacoma Unwind modified style cars.
Oh, okay.
And then your normal regular late model stock cars. So got a pretty big weekend planned. One thing I want to hit on before I forget, we're going to go ahead and change the schedule. I talked to the Speedway last night. They're calling for rain all day Thursday, and normally Thursday is an all-day practice. Then Friday is inspection practice, and we were going to do qualifying and heat races on Friday, then just race on Saturday. We're going to go ahead and plan on it raining Thursday, but hopefully it won't. Hopefully we'll get practice in, but we're going to just do an all-day practice on Friday and do qualifying and racing, everything on Saturday. With the late model feature starting about 3:45 on Saturday. So we'll come in early Saturday morning and just try to get all the racing in one day. But with the forecast how it is right now, we felt it'd just be best if we go ahead and just open up another practice day in case it rains out on Thursday.
Now, what you putting your good eye on this weekend?
We're going to put our good eye on a few things, but, when I first started doing this years ago under Joe Collins, and when he asked me to kind of take it over when he got sick, he said, always keep this weekend fun. He said, have a cookout and just happen to have a race on the last day. So, we still do hard tech. We still do good pre-race, qualifying, pre-practice, and then we do good tech afterwards. But we make it the qualifying line isn't as intense as it is throughout the year. So basically we're going to look at tread width, wheelbase, make sure the bodies are centered on the cars, quarter height. But the big thing is just tread width and wheelbase. We're going to look at that. We're not going to monitor the tape on the springs, so guys don't have to worry about if the springs are touching on the tape, and we're still going to monitor suspension travel, but we're not going to monitor tape on it. So it's going to be a fun weekend. Bringing about 23 people with me. Having a pleasure this year. I've got guys from each one of the tracks: Fairway, South Boston, Langley Speedway, Motor Mile, Hickory. And then also I got a few guys off the Southern Modified Tour and a few guys off the Coma Online Tour. So all of us working together. I think it's going to be a great weekend.
Did you putting Morehouse to work?
No, actually, Brian, he was going to work, but I think he's going to Homestead. I think he's working Homestead this weekend.
Oh, is he?
I lost 2 or 3 officials to Homestead. So, just like I told you the last show, all the guys on the list, we have about 20 to 25 people to pick from on any given race like this, and it's really the best of the best we bring. So, I'm fortunate, bringing some good guys, some absolutely great late model inspectors in, some of my heroes.
What kind of car count are you guys expecting down there?
Generally, I expect right at 70 cars. Usually we get on the first day of practice, we usually get anywhere from 65 to 70 cars, and normally it ends up being about 71, 72 cars, and we're going to start 42. Another thing we're going to change on Saturday is instead of doing 3 heat races like we were going to do on Friday and take the top 12 out of heat and 4 promoters provisionals, we're going to do 2 heat races and take the top 19 out of each one.
Wow.
And then have 4 provisionals. So it'll be a 42-car field.
So, Shane, how do you determine what you're going to check after a race? Is it just, do you have like a bag of numbers and you pull a number and say, hey, we're going to check this week? Or do you guys say, hey, we think guys are starting to push the issue on this and this is what we're going to check?
Well, there's like your givens, okay? Usually, almost after every race, you're definitely going to look at shots. You're definitely going to look at springs. You're definitely going to look at truck arms and things in the rear end. But then if you feel like, and I guess after you've been doing it in a while, and I communicate with some of my lead guys that are there, if I feel like that I have a motor issue, we'll kind of talk about it and decide how far we're going to go in to the motors. Just like your crate engines this weekend. The big thing on crate engines is camshafts. So I'm bringing in one of the best guys I know on crate engines, Jackie Lawson from Motor Mile. And if we decide to go into a motor on a crate engine, he's going to be the lead tech guy, and I'll have guys assist him. So you pretty much have a list of your givens, like I said, and then you just kind of pick or choose. Kenny Hunley from NASCAR will be there, just on site there, just for consultation and just talk to him, and then I'll have a couple of the Coleman guys, their lead, Randy Myers will be there, so, on the modified side, and to be honest with you, on the modified side, this is the first time that I've ever been a race director at a modified race, so it's going to be a pretty cool weekend for me, too. Myrtle Beach Speedway, that's kind of like home for me, so I love going there, and it's one of my favorite races.
Well, who are some of the heavy Who are some of the heavy hitters you're expecting there?
Oh my gosh! I tell you what, I don't think you have anybody that comes that's not a heavy hitter. Man, you got Lee Pulliam. I think Lee's coming. You got Tommy Lemon. You got Jamie Caudell. You got Langley guys coming. You got Casey White coming. You got Matt Wolf coming. I think I'm not sure if Mark Worth's coming, but you got like your Stellars, Matt Boland. I don't know. It's just hard to say. It's hard to say who's not a heavy hitter. Gracious, there's just so much talent on the East Coast. It's unreal.
Well, Shane, you've kind of worked yourself as a niche as kind of being the guy to have these big races. I mean, it's kind of, you've worked a long time in this sport. That's kind of got to feel good to you.
Yeah, it is. It's
from sleeping on the floor at Martinsville to now.
Yeah, because just like our last show that we thought, my very first race, I went down and I wasn't even hired to work, and I was standing in the NASCAR meeting, and Lynn Carroll looked at me and said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm your free help for the weekend." And it's evolved now, but it's an honor. I'm gonna tell you, I love late model stock car racing. I love all the guys. We get along good. We can eat a slice of pizza together, or go to a cookout or eat Christmas dinner together. But everybody knows that when it's time to be serious, it's time to be serious. That I'm going to do my job, and all the guys that are with me are going to do their job. And I don't know, it's an honor. I felt like over the years that there's one thing you can never do. You can never demand respect. You got to earn it. Mm-hmm. And I had some good guys bring me up. Joe Collins, Lynn Carroll, Flip Blaster, Kenny Lee. I mean, all these guys that I've worked under before. It's just an honor. And now, just like this year at Martinsville, that was my first year ever going in the tower, and I went to the tower with Lynn Carroll, and I did fire and safety while he called the race, and it was just, I don't know, it's just an honor. And going here to Myrtle Beach Speedway every year, Bob Lutz, he's taking the track over, and then I mainly work with a great guy, Steve Zacharias. He's in charge of all the racing activities at Myrtle Beach Speedway, and I tell you, he just makes it so easy. I just email him, I tell him what I need, and I tell him what the guys need, and just I have it when I get there. And he pretty much gives me free reign to do the schedule, to do anything that we need, and it's just an honor. It really is.
That's a long weekend for you too, being down there now and having to be there all the way till Saturday night. But I mean, that's a long weekend for you.
Yeah, and I tell you, a little bit of it's selfish. My wife and I have a home in Myrtle Beach, so we're headed that way now. And tomorrow is going to be we'll hang out with her all day, and we're going to eat some good lunch and some good seafood tomorrow night. Then it's kind of funny. I laugh when I get up on Thursday morning. She'll kind of pat me on the tail to have fun with your little friends all weekend.
Now, you got any special? Cool. You got any special socks and stuff she put out for you this weekend?
Any special what? I'm sorry?
Socks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I put a picture out there on Facebook last night. I've kind of started this thing. Everybody laughs, and that's why I wear them. But I wear sweater vests all the time now. So, and then the socks. She's actually got me matching socks, underwear that matches my sweater vest.
All right, that's really more information than we needed to know about you, really.
I always say you can always stop and etch a sketch. You can shake your head, just etch a sketch you right out. But leave the pants out. Just picture me in the underwear, socks, and the sweater vest.
No, I'm not going to do that.
What do you think, Joe?
Before he said it,
Yeah.
Joe's over here in shock. He don't know what to say.
I'll never look at you the same way, boss.
Well, we hope you have a good race down there. We would like to be there, but we can't be there this weekend. But hope you have a good one, and you maybe next weekend let us know how everything went.
Yeah, and maybe next week or something other, y'all give me a holler, and we'll talk about how the race went. But I'm looking forward to a great weekend, and I appreciate Myrtle Beach Speedway having me again, and thank y'all for having me on the show again.
Oh man, hey.
Anytime, Shane, just don't post that picture of your underwear, your sweater vest, and your socks. We don't want to see it.
No, he's already put the pictures on there. we don't want a picture of you.
That's what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, you be careful on the rest of your trip down there, and have a good time. And we'll talk to you later.
Okay, and look, I want to tell all the guys traveling, everybody be safe. If you get sleepy, guys, pull over. The racetrack will be there when you get there, and I'll see everybody this weekend.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Man.
Good luck. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you, man.
I will say, I mean, Shane is a good guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some people at the racetrack get aggravated with him, and that's just part of the job, you know. But deep down, you can tell. I wouldn't say before, but until we've had him on the show a few times, he really loves.
He loves the sport.
Well,
Racing,
you got,
you know?
and you have to have that attitude. And so the people are going to get mad at you, but you got to have that attitude that you tell you, look, I'm doing what I got to do.
Right.
But let's have some fun while we're doing it. And
Yeah, and he does. And he does. What did he? I don't know if he told us on the show one time when he said somebody was chewing him out, and he said, "Hold on, I gotta have a Tic Tac." He's like, he said, "Take the Tic Tac and come back, holler at me in a minute." And there's something, and it just kind of breaks the whole height of the argument, and it kind of brings it down, you know. And it's a great, you know, to break the ice thing. But you could probably speak for this some. I'd imagine sometimes you get put in a, I don't want to say an awkward position, because, I mean, we're all friends.
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
Yeah.
Because we are friends.
Right. And then when you
we
have
still
somebody
have a
that.
job to do.
Right. You got a job to do, and the guys that are racing have a job to do.
Right.
And it's to push the envelope on whoever it is.
Yeah.
So I can imagine it can be tough at times, you know. I could see that. I mean, Morehouse was telling us one time, his first time doing a bigger event, that the guys changed tires, and they weren't supposed to change tires. Well, the officials, and if you notice, and I've noticed after talking to them, they all carry a tire pressure gauge on them. And the guy that he was went over and said, "No, let me check your tire." He's like, "Oh," he just put his gauge on to see it's flat. We had to change it. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no problem." Well, when he got back, his boss was like, "Oh yeah, they got you." "What do you mean they got me?" He's like, "That's why you have an air gauge. You use your air gauge, not their air gauge, right, because they got them rigged up so they could just, you know, they've thought this stuff through, you know."
Yeah.
Kind of like what was his name, Leonard Wood, when he fixed his guys beside him.
Yeah, with his tape measure, you know. Yeah, and I forget who it was. I think what's the little short Italian dude was telling us?
Oh shoot, I know you're talking about.
Oh man, his wife passed away just a few years ago. It's sad.
Tiger Tom Pistone.
Tom Pistone, and he was really pretty funny, and he was telling us some of the gray area stuff that they used to do back in the day. And I forget who it was that had a Ford, and he had an older model Ford. So he called NASCAR up a month or so before the Daytona race and said, "Look, man, I need the templates so I can make sure my car fits the template, so I don't have to fix them when I show up there." And they're like, "Oh yeah, no problem." So they sent him the templates, and he shortened his car up and lowered it, and then had the templates fit his car. But the only problem that it would come to find out was a guy happened to show up with that Ford too. So when he went to go through and get his car template, the template didn't fit his car. It was too big. But you know, I mean, he'd have got away with it if it weren't for that guy that showed up that he didn't know was going to show up.
Oh God.
But I mean, that was pretty ingenious, you know, back then. I don't know if he got in any trouble for it. I'm sure he got a chewing.
I'm sure he got chewed on pretty good.
Especially Mr. Big Bill France at that time, because that was the time Big Bill was around. But I mean, probably the average person don't have the cojones to try it.
Right.
Nah. But it would be weird just to go sit down with some of these older guys.
Oh, I love those stories, man.
Back then they didn't really care, and I shouldn't say that they cared, but you could get away with stuff. I mean, you got to be so politically correct now that nobody would really challenge.
Leonard Wood. To hear some of his, and Lee used to tell me about the stories he would tell them in the shop, and about things they did. And of course, he told us that. Well, we got told that one story, and he kind of denied it. What you talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, he wouldn't really talk about it, the gray areas. He said he didn't know what the gray area was.
What was it Richard Petty said? It's not cheating if you don't get caught.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've heard if you ain't cheating, you ain't competing.
Yeah, that's true too.
But Tiger told us some of those things because I always wondered how they did it and how they got away with it. And it was so funny, and like I think one of the stories is where the guys were getting extra fuel. There was no rule on what size fuel cell you have. It was just on how much fuel it could hold. Right. You could have a big fuel cell, but it could only hold so much. He said so they'd build these big old tanks, and then they would put like a 5-gallon bucket per se in steel. They'd weld it in the middle of it, and it would hold this extra 5 gallons in it. But when they pump out on the sides of it, it would pump out to 22 gallons. But they still had another 5 inside there. Yeah. And then they'd run this big fuel line, and they'd curl it up inside the tank. And, I mean, he was letting it all. I'll tell you how we did it.
Yeah,
he's a character anyway.
Yeah, he didn't care. He didn't care. He'd tell you what's going on. Anyway, great show tonight. Sorry we didn't get Blake Harris on here tonight, but hopefully we'll have him next week after the chase is over with.
And see how they do in the chase.
Yeah, we can talk to him after the chase. Maybe I can hook up somebody from the 24 to come on the show, and after it's over with. Probably won't get him unless they win the chase.
And something we did learn, I didn't know that. I can't think of his name on the 24 tire carrier, big guy. He's one of the original D4D crew members.
Rocco,
yeah.
Dion Williams.
Dion
Williams, yeah.
I didn't know that until we were talking to Jefferson last week. I was like, I didn't know that. I mean, he's been around for 13 years or something like that.
He's been around a long time. He's been over there at Hendricks for a while doing different cars, but
he's a big guy.
He's huge.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't want to mess with him.
No.
And
he got a big family. He got a lot of kids.
And of course, he was involved in that fight in Texas last year.
Yeah,
I didn't see nobody going towards him.
No, he wouldn't have been one I grabbed.
Of course, Squirrel being the little guy there, he's the one that wanted to fight.
Hey, Squirrel's my new favorite guy over there because he is funny, man. I mean, I tell you, he. Squirrel might be watching because I know she started following us on Twitter now, and Squirrel is the truck driver of the 24.
Okay.
And if he ain't messing with somebody, he's sleeping.
That's the only way he can mess with somebody.
I mean, some of the stuff comes out of his mouth. I really can't.
Oh no, you can't repeat it. You can't repeat nothing that comes out of his mouth most of the time.
And I don't know what he does, but he's got a good-looking wife. I don't know how he pulled that one off. He can't have that much money.
And while we're talking about it, I don't understand how him and Stockman can end up with wives like they've got.
I know, right?
Something just didn't work out.
I need a NASCAR job.
Something didn't work out right. But that just make no sense. But yeah, Squirrel he's out there, man.
I could hang around him all day. He's hilarious.
And he
gives everybody a hard time.
He eats Lee up. I mean, he just tears Lee up.
I mean, some of the stuff he says, I just die. And you just look at him and just laugh, and he looks at you just serious. Yeah. We'll have to tell a couple stories when we get off there.
Anyway, great show tonight.
Well, what do we think is going to happen this weekend?
Oh, okay, we're going to do that.
Well, we might as well. We can't talk about it next week.
Well,
it's over there.
The only thing I can tell you is going to happen this week. It's going to be the last race of the season. I honestly believe that Eric Jones is going to win the truck title. I don't foresee.
I know. I thought that it was pretty much sewed up a few weeks ago.
And I, he had a rough race this past week, but Crafton kind of, when he did that, he kind of took his own self out.
Yeah.
So that kind of cleared the room for him.
I think Chris Buescher is probably going to.
They got 16-point lead now.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he's pretty safe. They tend to run well there. Roush has. Somebody forgot to turn the air compressor off.
Yeah, it wasn't my job.
Wasn't mine, because I don't even know how to turn it off.
And then, there was one thing I seen that Chris Buescher said the other week, that he's not interested in going to Cup for at least another year. And I respect him for that. He did not want to jump too soon and burn his career out. He wants to stay in Xfinity at least one more year. And like I said, I respect him for that.
So I think if he runs near the front like he's been doing, he's going to be fine. I think the deficit back to Chase Elliott and Ty and Regan Smith is way too far for them to make up that difference. Then we go to the Sprint Cup Series, and of course we know the four that's going to be there, and all you got to do is outrun 3 of the 4, and you win the championship. Huh?
I'm going to win.
But if I had to give a priority of who I think is going to win down, I hate to say, with the 78, and it would be a storybook for those guys to win. I think they're going to be last. And poor Joe, I think he's going to be third. And I think the next 2 are going to be fairly close, but I think the 4 is going to win unless they beat themselves. But I think Jeff is, they've got that Homestead car. It's been sitting in the corner for probably about a month now. I know they are supposed to have tested it this week or last week. Last week. They're going full force on it, and it would be a great storybook ending to what a legend for the sport, a Hall of Famer, no doubt. He will be. I mean, he certainly took NASCAR from sort of the grassroots it was and took it to kind of like a Fortune 500 place in the world with media. And I remember a long time ago when they were, then they didn't have these big media rooms and had people come in and do a little quick, these little skits that they have the drivers do. They did them in the garage at that time, and it was funny. They had a laps camera, and they were showing all the drivers to come up and do this little, "Hey, thanks for watching NASCAR on yada da da." I mean, Dale Earnhardt, Bobby Labonte, everybody. It took them 5 to 10 tries to get it right, and they're like, "Oh no, can you say it like this?" Or "Can you say no? You forgot this word." And they kept going. Where Jeff come over and he just knocked it out of the park on the first one, And they were like, "Oh, thanks, that was a good job, Jeff."
It's like somebody said on TV the other day, said that the fans back in the day hated Jeff because he could talk plain. Mm-hmm. He talked with sophistication. He come up there and he talked like a businessman. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people didn't like that because that was taking the southern part of the sport out of it. So, but I kind of agree with what you said as far as the 4 winning. I think unless the 4 something comes
and that's a possibility. I mean, those guys have not been. Those guys have had to work for everything they've got this year. I mean, they've still been fast. That's the thing they've had going for them. They've been fast. And for whatever reason, when those guys have their back against the wall, they seem to knock it out of the park. And again, this weekend, they were going to knock it out of the park. Just fortunately, they didn't win, and they've been 5 wins in a row there. Crazy. Yeah. But, man, it's still anything could happen. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take but just one thing, and it could change the whole thing around.
But I don't think the pressure on those 2 guys are nowhere near significant as amount as Martin Truex and Kyle Busch going for their first championship and the pressure of like that being so close and what you got to do. I think the pressure is going to get to.
But then again, I think the pressure probably is more on Kyle than it is Martin, because everybody's kind of writing Martin off, saying they just
he's got nothing to lose.
It's like like somebody said on the radio today when I was riding down here. They said Martin Truex can do completely opposite of what everybody else does,
right?
And just throw it out there because nobody's expecting more, and he has nothing to lose,
right?
So he could do something different and pull off something, And Cole Pern, his crew chief, is that type of guy. You know,
He's a gambler.
So
He was a big Dale Jr. fan there at the end of the race.
Yeah, so,
I thought it was so funny when they interviewed him, and he was like, "Well, I think the rain's come. I mean, I think we should just give the Junior fans what they want."
so
And he's done a great job turning the team around from last year to this year.
So it's nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, but for my personal, I would love to see Jeff Gordon win it, to go out on top. My son get a Sprint Cup championship, which would probably mean more to me than it does him. But you know, that's really big, and I would like to see that happen. But I still say you got to beat the 4. So, and so far,
I mean, I think those guys are fairly close. That they can compete. I think
Well,
speed-wise,
the 24 has been down on speed all year long, really.
they're just a tick. I mean, it's
And-
just that little
and
something.
and Harvick has always been to the front every
top of the
time.
board, yeah.
And so if he comes out on, he comes out that race like he did last year, and
Hey, who would have thought Ryan Newman? I thought there with 20 laps to go last year, Ryan Newman was going to win the championship and not have won a race, and ran second because he put tires on. Harvick didn't, and it just, I mean, a miracle that he didn't get to him soon enough. But I mean, I certainly thought Ryan Newman was going to be the guy.
I did too. I thought so too.
So it'll be interesting to see. It's exciting to watch. Kind of wish we could be there, but
Well,
can't do it.
Yeah.
and Joe, gonna be up at the arena races this weekend.
Yes. Yep.
So-
Saturday night.
Hopefully, big group of cars
I hope
come,
so,
come
yeah.
out there, so be racing.
Yeah.
Definitely
Well,
looking
definitely,
forward to
I'm gonna definitely go up.
Okay.
I don't know what time I'll work in the morning for a few hours and then head up.
The races start at 7 o'clock, so gates open at 6.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna probably try to go. I mean, hopefully nobody's got nothing planned that I don't know about. But
Yeah, I mean, 60 is a big one. 61. I mean,
Yeah, 61.
who's 61?
Huh? Look, memory loss.
already.
That's the first thing that
look,
goes, man.
Look, I'll tell you, like, funny. A long time ago, me and my daughter, and my whole family, we're all kind of pranksters and love to stir the pot. So it's my wife's birthday, and we added like 2 years to her to her cake, right? And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you are. So for like a year, she thought she was a couple of years older than she. Oh yeah. So next time you see, you have to ask her about that. So I mean, it was either a year, or it might have been 2 years. We had her convinced that she was a year or two older than she was, and until a friend of hers that she grew up with, they were like 5 months apart, and she's like, "Yeah, we're going to be such and such age." She's like, "No, we're not." So yeah, we had her convinced of that for a year or two.
Oh, you can do like we did my dad. We took him to some restaurant and had a bunch of people there. Brought his cake out. My wife he was going to be 62 years old. My wife turned the 6 upside down and made it 92.
Oh, no.
And had them lighted up and everything. I mean, she got it to where it come out where it lit up, and they brought it in the room 92. And people were just looking at him like, God, he's looking good tonight. That's pretty cool. But anyway, all right, we'll see you all next week. Hopefully we'll all be back in one piece.
Yeah, we'll
we'll
talk
have-
about the champion.
We'll have Juicy Joe from Louisville be back with us next week, and Scott will be here if he lives that long.
We'll talk about the champion
Yes.
and talk about the first race of the arena race.
Racing, yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. See you guys next week.
Next week.